I would love to talk about a few different scenarios on how you can get more loans now, and then how you can help realtor partners close more transactions, okay? So get loans right now. I think there is a huge missed opportunity for people right sizing. So you can call it downsizing, right sizing, retirement purchase, things of that nature. Okay, I think there's a huge missed opportunity right now for individuals to right size into their retirement home forever, because prices are so high. It's a great time to do that. Now, when I'm speaking with a lot of clients, they're like, yeah, I do want to do that, but prices still seem kind of high to buy, right, or downgrade, right, into another home. And if I put all my money down against the house, I don't know how that's going to support my retirement in the future with the purchase price being so high, even buying down in value. So I'm going to show you, I was working on one literally right when I logged in. So it's not 100% complete, but it's pretty close, and I want to share it with you, okay? So I'm going to share my screen here and walk you through a scenario to show you what I'm talking about. So right now you can go into your database, and if you don't have a big database, you can pull data for people that are looking, that have been in their house for 15 plus years, okay? Those would be great opportunities for people to right size, right? If they've been in the house 10 years plus, even, it's better. But if you can find a good list of people that have been in their house for 15 years or more, those are prime candidates to right size their scenario. So what you're looking at here is an individual that I was talking to earlier, and it was actually talking to their real estate agent, and they were explaining the scenario that their clients in. And I said, hey, I think this could be a great opportunity for them to right size and purchase a new home. So what I'm showing you here in this summary section is their current home value right now is right around $1 million. It'll probably sell for around 1.1 million. They currently owe, and these are estimates per the realtor, about $500,000. They have a 3.25% interest rate on their house right now. Their current mortgage payments are $28.72 and 3 cents per month. Okay, so this is their current situation. They are retired and they're looking to get into their retirement home, or they're thinking about it. But once again, their objections were what I shared earlier. Hey, I don't know, we're still going to be buying like a $650,000, $700,000 house. That seems like a lot. We have pension, but we don't have a lot of additional assets outside of that. And it makes us nervous if we were to do something and put all of our cash into a house. So I started working up this presentation right before we got on here that shows in this first column their current home, right? In the second column, what I'm showing these clients is that they buy a $650,000 home, right? They're going to sell the 3,000 square foot home, and they're going to purchase, a 1,900 square foot home. They purchase a new one, and they're going to net about $500,000 from the sale of this property. And so what I showed them here is that, hey, if they just took 300,000 of that for the down payment instead of the full 500, and they got a current interest rate, which, yes, at 4.99, I know that is higher than 3.25, but I showed them that their monthly payments are $25.72 and 74 cents. So they would be going down in payment by $300 a month, and they would also have $200,000 extra of cash because they're not using their full amount of proceeds from their house to put down towards the new purchase. Now, the reason why this also works so well is that because they are of retirement age, where we live, they can transfer their property tax base because they've owned this home for a long time. They bought it for $400,000 a long time ago. Okay, so when we go into the more info screen, we can see in the payment breakdown that their property tax is the same, right? That is a really important item to know in your market. Can these people transfer their property tax base? Will it be better for them or will it be worse for them? In this scenario, it shows that it is going to be awesome for them. Now, also what I did is I took a reinvestment strategy, and I don't know if I finished it because I hopped on the call. But what I wanted to show them, right, is that in 15 years, if they take this $200,000 and they don't put it down towards their mortgage payment because they can easily afford the mortgage payment at $2,500 a month, and they invest it and they get an average 7% rate of return, in 15 years, that 200,000 turns into 569,789. So this is a huge benefit for the individual to realize that not only can they lower their monthly payments, they can right size in, save $300 a month, and then also create an additional net worth of about $569,000 over a 15-year time frame. So doing things like this in this market will help you get loans right now. I'm going to send this off to the agent, ask for the introduction to the client. They'll 100% say yes, because I've already done some work for them without me ever even talking to them before. Then we can dial in these numbers. Now, that does one of two things for you, okay? Number one, it generates more opportunities for your agent, right? More opportunities for your agent of people that are afraid to list their house right now. Number two is that you are going to get referred so strong because you've done some work for them without them even knowing who you are first, that referral is going to be trusted at a very, very, very high level when you receive it. And then number three, of course, you're giving great advice and using a total cost analysis and showing them how you can make an impact and a difference on their life. So that is one get loan now strategy that I think is being really underutilized by myself as well, by the way, that I'm really going to focus on here over the next months to come. But I think it's a huge opportunity with what has happened in the market. Prices are up, 52% over the last 5 years. Over the last 20 years, they're up 274%. And that's with markets correcting, right? Like even with the gigantic dip in that time frame, that's important for you to know too, is that if you're focusing on people that have owned homes for 15 years, 20 years, their home price has literally gone up 200+%, no matter what market that you live in. So I think those are really important things to focus on, and that is a great get loan now strategy right now. And I'm happy to share these links with you if you'd like. I'll send them afterwards, or I can post them in the chat. By the way, if you guys have questions, please type them in, someone interrupt me, and I'm more than happy to go ahead and answer anything that you guys want to know. It could be about anything you want. Now, a second get loan now strategy that I'm seeing as well is, and this is purchase based, okay, is individuals that bought with an FHA loan 2 to 5 years ago. So anywhere from 2 to 5 years, people that purchased with an FHA loan still have that loan in place on a move up strategy. Now, the biggest hurdle that I'm seeing with move up strategies is that oftentimes, they're going to maybe pay significantly more than what they want to pay, what they think they should pay. And that's okay. That's part of the process of going through it, is making them realize, are they going to have to make some sacrifices, or is it something that they can really afford or really want to do? So when you're going to look at move up buyers that were originally first-time home buyers, and this might be their first time moving up, and they're really relying on the equity of their homes, you have to make sure that you go in knowing that they probably are always going to be shocked that the mortgage payment is going to be a lot more, okay? Interest rates are higher, as well as the fact that if they're going to do a significant move up, they are going to have a larger loan amount. I think that is something that is so basic to us, and because we do loans every day, is that yes, it seems like common sense. You borrow more money, your payment is going to be higher. But consumers oftentimes just don't understand, or they don't think that way. When they're investigating this process of like, what does a move up buy look like? They are not thinking that way at all. They are thinking, this is going to be great. I got a bunch of equity in my house. I'm going to buy a better house and my payment is going to be the same. That's what they think. Okay. So when I'm doing a move up strategy, I do it with a few different components, and I'll share my screen and walk you through an example of that I did yesterday as well. So in the example I'm going to show you, number one is that I'm showing them what purchase price they wanted, because they gave me a monthly payment budget, but they also gave me like a purchase price that they're kind of targeting, right? So what I do is I show them the purchase price that they want. and I'm showing them 3 different interest rate options because rates have been moving around all the time. The real reason I'm showing them the 3 different interest rate options is just so they can understand that a 1/4% or a 0.5% in rate movement up or down does not kill their monthly payment budget at all. We want people to continue to get focused on their monthly payment budget. That's a very basic sales fitness skill that I think we've lost. We got so used to, rather than talking about payment, we'd say 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 3 1/4, 3 3/8, and we started speaking in interest rate terms. And the reality is that we can only control what we can control. And the facts are undeniable that rates are going to be whatever they want at the given time that they are posted. So what I show in this move up analysis is the purchase price they want, 3 different interest rates so they can see how that affects the monthly payment. But I also showed where they wanted to keep their monthly payments and how much less of a house that would be. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and just walk you through it. And of course, if you have questions, please just post away. So this is for the client who is going to sell their house and purchase a new one. So one thing I want you to take away from both of these scenarios I've shared so far is that these are both for people that need to sell a house and purchase a house. That is really important. Don't miss this. Is that if we want to create more inventory for our realtors and more inventory for our buyers, we have to start talking to people about making contingent sales, right? Listing their house contingent upon them finding another house. That has to be a big part of our conversation with our agents and with our consumers, okay? It's up to us to change the rhetoric and the dialogue around what's going to be normal in the purchase market moving forward. And that's how we're going to create some more inventory for our partners. So in this scenario, it's exactly what I just walked you through on the overview. They wanted to be pre-approved to a $550,000 purchase price. So I showed them that here's a $550,000 purchase price, right? 3 different ways. These are all on FHA loans. Now you might be thinking right now, well, why would they do an FHA loan if they're selling their house and they're going to net, approximately $100,000 of equity? I will get into that. Okay. So in the first column, I showed them a $550,000 purchase. If the interest rate happened to be 4.75% when they find the house, that their payments would be $38.63 32 cents. Keep in mind their estimated monthly payment budget, they wanted under $2,900 a month. Okay. They're still super qualified for this, but that's where they thought they wanted to keep their monthly payment because they're paying $2,700 a month right now. Okay. So, and they want to come out of pocket with anywhere between 30 to 40,000 total out of pocket. Now, in the second column, I'm showing them that, hey, if the interest rate happened to be 4.99% on the day that you get into contract, your payment would be $39.42. And in the third column, at 5 1/4%, your payment would be $4,028.57. So all I'm really showing you here is that the difference in monthly payments is just about $85 a month per 1/4% interest rate, whether it moves up or down. That way you, the consumer, can budget appropriately. It really just comes down to the payment. And I don't want you to think that because rates are up, or if they continue to go up, that it's going to raise your payment $400 a month. Okay, that's not going to happen in this marketplace right now. Now, in the fourth column, I showed them where they want their payments to be, but what they would have to sacrifice in purchase price, right, in order to do that at a $400,000 purchase with a payment of $28.94 24 cents with just under $30,000 cash to close. Now, in the video, right, that I did for them, what I explained to them is that one thing you have to take into consideration is why you are moving. Okay, you want to move because you want to be out of the condo situation and you want to get into a single family home with a little bit more space. So that's going to cost a little bit more money. But what I did on the back end was I saw that you guys have $42,000 of debt between cars, student loans, and credit card debts. When I added up those monthly payments, it came out to $1,000 a month. Okay, so follow me here. I explained to them that, hey, if we just took the $550 purchase price option at 4.99, for example, $39.42 and 8 cents, if we take 40,000 of your 100,000 that you're going to net, we can pay off those debts. And now you've eliminated $1,000 a month in monthly payments. Now your only payment is going to be your mortgage, right? Basically, it's the same thing as having a $2,900 a month mortgage payment. And you're still going to have $30,000 left over as cash reserves for an emergency fund, so that if something does pop up, we don't have to go back into debt again. And that's how I'm going to show you how to build wealth and not accumulate debt, but keep accumulating assets that are going to grow. So that is an excellent way and an excellent script and example of how to get a loan now as well, with someone who needs to sell their current property to really make things work. So I'm going to break this down into steps. Number one, you have to listen to what they want to do, okay? And what they want to do is going to come in two different forms. It's always going to come in what they want their monthly payment. So ask them, what do you want your monthly payment target to be on your new purchase? And then it's always going to come in a purchase price range that they have identified. Okay, so you want to identify those two things. Step two, show them options on here's where your exact payment range is. This is what you're looking at. Here is your purchase price range and what your monthly payments will be on where you want your purchase price to be. Show them the gap. Step three, find ways that you can close the gap. Find ways that you can close the gap, meaning do they have additional debt, right? So it didn't make sense for these people to put down an additional $40,000 for down payment, because that wouldn't have saved them $1,000 in a monthly payment. But I found an opportunity to say, if we pay off these debts, that eliminates that $1,000, and net you're going to be paying the same as you were right now. And I want to set you up for financial wealth building over time. So we want to hold back those other funds for emergency fund and reinvestment into different opportunities, whether that be financial planning, purchasing another property in a few years, whatever that may be. We want to leave some cash back to give you flexibility, not go into debt, and take advantage of other investment opportunities. And then, of course, finally, number five is that this creates powerful listing dialogue with the agent. Okay, so the agent already responded to this email that I included her on yesterday and said, hey, Jeremy, thank you. This is so great. You know, Terry and Alyssa, I think that we should all just hop on a Zoom call and talk about this. We want you to be comfortable with the monthly payments, but I think we should go over the overall goals. She basically is reiterating what I said. She watched the video, she responded, and then now we can have a super constructive meeting about how to move forward. So I don't want you guys to miss that. I think it's a really big opportunity right now. And we just need to figure out ways to create more listings on the market. And if they have to be contingent, fine, then they have to be contingent. Let's show people how they can accomplish their goals, be patient, make contingent offers, and then go from there.